So in the software, we're going to create a photo collage by going to the Create option up in the top right. You're going to click on Create and click on Photo Collage. This brings up three options. So you'll have a 210 by 297mm, which is a portrait orientated image. You have a 297 by 210, which is a landscape orientated image. These are both A4 in size, so you can print these at home. The other option that you have here is a 300 by 300mm, which is a 12-inch by 12-inch square format. You need to be careful because not everywhere prints square format. And down at the bottom here we have a little checkbox where it's autofill with selected images. So I've just clicked the A4 image, which is portrait orientation, and I've clicked OK, and the image has been generated for me. Now you literally just follow this on screen. The little grey frames say click on an image and it will automatically appear, so that whenever you do that you have to navigate to where the image is, and you can either single click and open or place, or double click and it will automatically come in. Now you'll see when it comes in there's handles on the image, and the image is smaller in the frame and you can see grey area around the frame. So I'm going to resize the image. I can do this by the slider or by the handles. You'll see that there's still a bit of grey there. And there's also this little rotation node. So what I'm going to do is rotate it round within the frame, and I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to check mark that to confirm. I'm then going to single click and move the frame, and I'm going to find the little rotation node for the frame and then bring it back round by 90 degrees. And if I'm happy with that, I will click the check mark. I can also resize this as well, so the image and the frame are married together, they act as one. And I'm going to check mark that and move it up. Okay, this can be moved anywhere. You'll see it's above everything. Just going to do a second one here, so I'm clicking on an image, I'm clicking on autumn.jpg. This time I'm resizing by the handles, and again I'm going to click the check mark and you'll see it's behind azul.jpg. If I want to bring autumn to the front, I right click on autumn and I can click on bring to front, and you'll see it's now in front of azul instead of behind azul. Okay, so I can move this about as well if I so wish. Okay, and if I double click the image, it then allows me to edit the image. At the moment I would like to clear the frame, so I right click, and if I click on clear photo, you see the image comes out of the frame. And here I would like to delete the frame, so whenever you click on the frame once and you hit delete, the delete key, you get that dialog box, are you sure you want to delete the frame? And you can say yes or no. So I'm back to moving the image around. I'm looking at this green background and I'm not very chuffed with it at all. So down in the bottom right here, if we click on graphics, and your right hand panel will change, you will get backgrounds, you'll get frames, and you'll get graphics further on down. So I'm just going to grab this first light background onto the background of my artwork, and you'll see that it automatically updates. If I zoom in a bit there, you'll see the information a bit more clearly, and I'm just holding down the space bar here while I pan around the image through clicking and dragging. And whenever I let go of the space bar, I'm back into edit mode. So here I've just gone down the frames and I've just brought a frame in, and you've got different frame types, different styles, etc. And they act just the same way as the frames as you've just used. So you can add and delete frames. And further on down, if we look at the bottom, you also have graphics, and these are all flowers. So I'm going to click on the rows, and the rows will come in, but it will be very small. And what you can do is you can move the rows and you can resize the rows and just hit the check mark to confirm. And if you don't like the rows anymore, if there's handles on it, you can just hit your delete button, and again you'll get the are you sure you want to delete dialog box, yes or no. Okay, so a little bit here, I'm just going to add in another image, and you'll see a dog comes in. and you can still see the edges of the image. So I'm just going to zoom in here and OK that, but you'll see that it's behind another item, and I would like to rotate that slightly, and I'd like to bring it to the front, so I'm going to right click and bring forward. So you can have it in front of an item, or you can put it back behind an item. So we're just going to take this back a little bit because I want to show you some more options. So we're taking it back to where we've just actually created the photo collage. This time I've gone for a square option. Okay, and all the frames are blank. So what I'm interested in here is the pages option, which changes the right hand panel, and it shows you the different types of pages that you have available. So instead of the scatter graph thing, if I click on this first item, I will get 12 little image inserts, and it's automatically arranged for me. And they work in the same way as before. You click an image and you insert, and again you can resize and move about and stuff. I'm just going to try this other one here. Okay, so I'm just going through some of the different image layouts. You will notice in this particular one that there's still some of the background showing, so it's not 100% square. Thus the images aren't 100% square in their layout. This fourth item here, where you've got 5 images along the bottom, it's very feng shui. Okay, so there's not very much imagery, and you can change your background, and if we get into the expert mode, you can actually add in your own background as an image. Okay, so 3 inset images, and this is the one that we're going to use. So I'm going to click on one of the frames here, and I'm going to insert an image. So whenever I click on the frame, you will get the open dialog box, and you need to navigate to where your images happen to be. Mine are in the DVD, so I'm going to go to computer. I'm going to double click DVD. And I'm going to navigate to the image that I would like to insert. And I'm going to make this all dog orientated, so I'm going to click on a CC. Okay, if you're not sure what the images happen to be, if you go to the views icon, you can click on large or extra large icons. If you click on extra large, you'll only be able to see one icon at a time in this open dialog box. However, if we go up to the blue bar here, and I'm just moving the box about, if I double click that bar, it goes full screen size, and it allows me to see more of the larger icons. And it's just, if you're not able to see some of the detail, this may be the view for you. So I'm just going to take this down a bit. So I'm going to click on a CC1 on place, or I could double click, and this is transferred into the frame. So the first thing to note is that the image of the dog does not take up the whole of the frame. There's a couple of grey bits either side. If I single click the frame, the dog and the frame are married together. So if I resize the frame, or if I move the frame, the dog changes in size and proportion accordingly. So I'm going to cancel that. If I double click the dog, you get a different set of handles that relate to the dog. So these handles here, I can drag those out, which will make the dog bigger until I take up the image within the frame. And I can just nudge that up because I want to get the wee dog's face in there. And at this point, I could hit the check mark. I am going to make it just slightly larger though. And I'm going to click on the rotate node. And I'm just going to move the little dog's face around so that it's at a slight angle in the frame. And whenever I'm happy with that, I will click the little check mark.